Domestic violence and domestic battery. There's a difference between those two things in Indiana. Domestic battery falls under the overall umbrella of a crime of domestic violence. A crime of domestic violence is defined by code here in Indiana as an offense or the attempt to commit an offense that has an element of physical force or threatened use of a deadly weapon, and it's committed against a family or a household member. Now, that family or household member is where things get a little bit more complicated, because it's not just people who live in your house. It can be any multitude of people, and it includes a lengthy list. The current or former spouse of the other person, someone who is dating or has dated the defendant, someone who is or was engaged in a sexual relationship with the defendant, someone who is related by blood or adoption to the defendant, someone who is or was related by marriage to the defendant, someone who has or previously had an established legal relationship with the defendant, and that includes a guardian of the other person, a ward of the other person, a custodian of the other person, a foster parent of the other person, or someone that's something similar to those that may not be especially laid out by statute. So there's kind of a catch-all phrase there. And then finally they added a newer clause that includes someone who has a child in common with the other person. So that family or household member can be any multitude of people. So why does that crime of domestic violence matter? It's something that can restrict your rights. It can cause you to lose a firearm where you may not otherwise be restricted to own a firearm if it's a misdemeanor domestic battery case. But if the court sends a domestic violence finding on, then you will lose your right to possess a firearm or ammunition. It can also be used to restrict parenting time with a minor child. So if one of those situations, a family or household member, includes a minor child, the court could use that to restrict your parenting time, especially if there's a family law case, some sort of divorce case, some sort of DCS matter, something like that. A domestic violence determination could be used against you in that case to have those collateral consequences. So it is so important when you're charged with a crime that could involve a finding of domestic violence that you give us a call so we can talk about it and talk about how we can try to keep a domestic violence determination off of your case. Because that is a huge collateral issue that could have longer lasting impacts besides just the possible sentence on that case. So give us a call to discuss, 317-632-3642. Remember to plead the fifth.